Satchidananda-rupaya Vishwotpattyadetave Tapatraya-vinashaya Sri Krishnaya Vayam Numah Vyasaya Vishnu-rupaya Vyasa-rupaya Vishnave Namo Vai Brahma-nidaye Vasishtaya Namo Namah. Swasukha nivrita chetas tadvidastanya bhavopi ajita ruchira lila krishna sarastadiyam vyatanuta kripaya yastattva deepam puranam tamakhila vrijnagnam vyasa sunam natosmi. Bhagavata Chatusshloki. Please read verse 35, that last one, last but one. 35.
एतावदेव जिज्ञास्यं तत्त्वजिज्ञासुनात्मनः अन्वयव्यतिरेकाभ्यां यत् स्यात् सर्वत्र सर्वदा.
In answer to Brahmaji's question, which involved the nature of Bhagavan, Bhagavan explained what it is, including the nature of Maya, as asked by Brahmaji. And he concludes now, only this much is to be known. Etavadeva jidnyasyam vicharyam. All that needs to be inquired is only this much, which is my Swarupa. By whom jidnyasam? Atmana tattva jidnyasuna. The one who knows to, one who wants to know one's Swarupa, which itself is Bhagavad Swarupa. So he has to inquire only this much. Fine. Bhagavan has unfolded what is Bhagavad Swarupa, which itself is Atma Swarupa. But how to gain it? What are sadhanas? What is the means to discover that? Bhagavan Vishnu is giving that. You have to employ the method of Anvaya Vyatireka. Anvaya, Sambandha, continuance, presence. Vyatireka, absence, discontinuance. By this method, by finding out which exists all along and which exists at times. It comes and goes, but never exists forever. But in and through all that comes and goes, there's one principle which always exists. So that is what is that? Anvayatirikabhyam yat sarvatra sarvadasya. That entity which is everywhere, all along, know it to be Atma Swarupa, know it to be Bhagavad Swarupa. We have seen last time, if we analyze the entire Jagat, including ourselves, to find out what is that entity, what is that principle, which always is, never ceases to be there, and what is that entity which comes and goes. We have to apply it to our life. Our life is divided into three compartments: waking state, dream state, and deep sleep state. Intervening avasthas may be there, but there can be included in either of these three. So in and through that, the experiences which you undergo in the waking state, the experiences we undergo in the dream state, the experience that we undergo in the deep sleep state, come and go, come and go, come and go. Vary. They are starting, they are ending, they are starting. But in and through them, which makes us aware of, which makes us know, which makes us experience. All that we experience is one and the same. That is Chaitanya. It is changeless. It has no birth. It has no end. And that Chaitanya is all along, Sarvatra, Sarvada. Just all come and go. That is Atma Swarupa, it's the Brahma Swarupa. So the method given here is what? Anvaya Vyatireka. This Anvaya Vyatireka is a method, is a very great boon by which we can ascertain our Swarupa. It is of 5 types. Like this. Drik Drishyanvaya Vyatireka. Drik Drishyanvaya Vyatireka. The Anvaya Vyatireka between Drik and Drishya. Sakshi Sakshanvaya Vyatireka. Anvaya Vyatireka between Sakshi and Saksha. Drik means seer principle. Drishya means seen entity. Sakshi, knower principle. The principle which witnesses. Saksha, which is known, which is witnessed entity. Then Agamapai Tadavadhyanvaya Vyatireka. Anvaya Vyatireka of Avadhi, boundary of Agama, that is born, arrives. Apaya, that gets destroyed. Hence, that is the other one. Then Dukhi, Paraprema Sudanvaya Vyatireka. Anvaya Vyatireka between Dukhi, the one who is subject to sorrow, and Paraprema, that is the locus of limitless love. So that and then finally, which is actually the basis of all this 4. Anuvritta Vyavrittanvaya Vyatireka. So Anuvritta, that entity which is continuing all along. Vyavritta, that continuing becomes absent at times. It's Anvaya Vyatireka. A little more we can see about this. Drik Drishyanvaya Vyatireka. See, Drishya, the perceptible world, the experiential world. Drik, the knower principle, the seer principle, the experiencer principle. See now, Jagat comes and goes. Drishya Jagat is available in the waking dream, not available in the deep sleep state. Comes in. But Drik, available in the waking, in the dream, and also in the sleep. So therefore, what gets negated, ended at time, that is not Atma. So Chaitanya only is Atma. Then Sakshi Sakshanvaya Vyatireka. With respect to, see, Drikdrisha Viveka is with respect to the Jagat, Bahya Jagat. Antara, in our personality, Sakshi, the witness principle, the knower principle of all Antakarana Vrittis. Whereas Saksha, that which is seen, witnessed, experienced, all our Antakarana Vrittis, including the Ajnana. So what happens now? This. Vrittis Earlier also, Drishya, see, Drishya is in and through waking, dream, and sleep. In sleep also, Ajnana is Drishya. But in Samadhi, where the Antakarna has become just as a replica or has conformed to the Chaitanya Swarupa without any specific Antakarna vritti, therein Drishya is not there. It gets ended. So therefore, Chaitanya only is the ever-existent Drik principle. In fact, at that time, we can't say Drik because Drishya is not there. Status of Drik is with respect to Drishya. But Drishya is not there. But so long as Drishya is there, we say Drik. Otherwise, it is Drik Tattva, the principle of knowing. So also is Sakshi Sakshi with respect to our subjective experiences. Experiences which are purely at the Antakarna level. Varied thoughts come and go. When they come, the Sakshi Tattva makes us know them. When they go, the Sakshi Tattva makes us know its absence. So therefore, Saksha, all Antakarna come and go. Sakshi alone continues, that is Atma Tattva. Agamapai tadavadi. Avadi, boundary of agama, things that are born. Earlier they were not there. Now they have to come register. That is it. Apaya, they appear to be now, but after the ending they are no more to be there. They come and go. But one who knows this arrival and departure, coming and going of entire creation, that Chaitanya is Atma Tattva. Now, Dukhi, Paraprema Swadasvayatri. In life, we are sorrowful. How many times? How long? Don't ask. Tell me whatever. Happy, unhappy, happy, unhappy, happy, unhappy. Is it not? So that is Dukhi. But one entity is there. See, with respect to objects, events, and beings in the world, we are happy at times, we are Dukhi at times. But with respect to I, entity I, it is always the locus of our limitless love. I is Parama Premaspada. Aspada, Ashraya of Parama Prema, limitless love. And anything and everything from the world, if it is Premaspada, if it is Priya, if it is an object of love, it is for the sake of oneself. The famous truth is Atmanastu Kamaya Sarvam Priyam Bhavati. Priya means Premaspada. Ashraya, locus of love. If anything in the world becomes the Priya, the locus of our love, it is Atmanastu Kamaya, for the sake of oneself and not for the sake of that entity. Means I myself is the locus of limitless love, supreme love, Parama Prema. That shows whatever that entity I truly is the entity which is Paramananda. Because whatever there is a Ananda, source of happiness, that only everyone loves. And if I am the locus, ashraya of limitless love, necessarily I should be limitless happiness. Unfortunately, because of our identification, whatever that is not I, Anatma, we get deprived of this Anuswarupa. And this, our preoccupation in Anatma, poses the obstruction in knowing, experiencing, being aware of our Paramananda Swarupa. So therefore, that is, whatever that is subject to be sorrowful, whatever that becomes a source of sorrow, not that. That which always is with the locus limitless, I, that is the Atma Swarupa. Now, Anuvritta, Vyavritta, Anvaitrika. In this all four, Anuvritta means that is continued. Vyavritta, that is absent from. These two entities are there. So what continues is the truth. What discontinues is false. Though it appears, it is false in nature. So therefore, depending on our mode of inquiry or the topic of inquiry, these methods of Advaitarika can be employed to ascertain and own up, be aware of, to experience our Swarupa, which is Atma Swarupa, which is Bhagavat Swarupa. So in this way, Bhagavan Vishnu has given, described what is his Swarupa and what is the means to gain it. Here in this means, that means finally, only this much needs to be inquired into to gain the knowledge. When you say knowledge, means it implies there is some ignorance, ajnana, some ignorance which you have to remove and gain the knowledge. If knowledge is to be knowledge that is to be gained, Atma Swarupa, one's true nature, then in relation to this knowledge of Atma Swarupa, one's true nature, what is ignorance, ajnana? What is that ignorance which you want to end and gain the Atma Jnana, Brahma Jnana, Bhagavad Swarupa Jnana? Now let us see this in terms of Bhagavata only. How Ajnana is described in Bhagavata Purana, to which the remedy is Jnana, as told in this verse. So we have to go to 11th chapter. That is not 11th chapter, sorry. 11th skanda, chapter 28, verse 36. It is from Uddhava Gita, teaching of Bhagavan Krishna to Uddhava. I told you about Uddhava. So like Arjuna, he was a great devotee. But one thing, speciality about him was always used to be in the company of Krishna. And the time came, Krishna wanted to say goodbye to this world. They told Uddhava, do this. Go to Hastinapura and give this message. He said, nothing doing, Maharaj. Bhagavan, nothing doing. I won't leave you. Krishna knew his nature and assigned that job to Arjuna. At that time, he teaches Uddhava about the Adhyatma Vidya. One's true nature, Bhagavad Swarup, etc., which is known as Uddhava Gita. Bhagavad Gita is Arjuna Gita. This is Uddhava Gita. There is say, this is what Ajnana is. 11:28:36. Etavan Atma Sammoha Yad Vikalpastu Kevale Atmanrite Swam Atmanam Avalambo Na Yasyahi. Says Atma Sammoha, that is Manasaha Brahmaha, delusion of the mind, or Aviveka, or more precisely, Ajnana. So, Ajnana is only this much. What is that? Etavan Atmasama. Yad, whatever it is, what is that? Tu Kevale Atman. That Atman has to be taken as Atmani. In Atma Swarupa, which is Chaitanya and Chaitanya alone, wherein nothing else other than it is that homogeneous mass of consciousness and conscious alone, Chaitanya and Chaitanya alone. In that, wherein nothing else can be there, Atmani, Atmani, Vikalpaha. What is that Vikalpa? Vikalpa or Bheda in terms of Adhyasa. Superimposing something which is truly not there. What is that? It is Nama Rupatmaka Prapanchabhasa. Seeming appearance of Jagat in terms of names and form. In Atma, wherein there cannot be anything else whatsoever, appearance of this entire Jagat cosmos, 14 lokas, truly which is not there at all. So that is what. That is there. And tyranny of it is, where can these exist? They are not there. All that there is Chaitanya only. And yet they appear to be in Chaitanya. Means Chaitanya is the basis, Ashraya, Adhisthana of this Vikalpa, Veda Rupatmaka Prapancha. And yet it is not known. Say, Vikalpaha, Yasya. Yasya means Vikalpasya. He, because he, Avalamba. Avalamba is its Ashraya, resort, basis, Adhisthana. Avalambaha, Swam Atmanam. Swam Atmanam. Say, Swam Atma. Rute means Vina. Without oneself, the Chaitanya, the Ashraya, the basis for which seemingly appearing Vikalpa, the Nama Rupasma, that's Prapancha. Nahi is not that. Means this appearance of Jagat is in Chaitanya, which is one without the second, non-dual. That's why I said, Kevale, Abhinne, Advaye, Chaitanya. Kevala. Only the Chaitanya is there. And yet, this manifold Nama Rupa, the Prapancha appears there. The Chaitanya is the Ashraya, and though that is not possible, and yet not known. Just for the mistaken snake, rope is the basis, and yet rope is not known. What is known is what snake only. That is the one which is ignorance, because of which such phenomenon take place. So this is what Ajnana. Ajnana means what now? Not knowing our true Swarupa Chaitanya, which is the basis for the entire Jagat, and taking it to be true, and at what cost? At the cost of not knowing the Swarupa Chaitanya. It's called as avidya or ignorance. One thing interesting we know in this context, how this avidya functions is interestingly told in what is called as Sutta Samhita. Let us see that. It's a very interesting topic. In Sutta Samhita, first Khanda, Shiva Mahatmya Khanda, chapter 10. There, the five parts, or what is called divisions, called parvas of avidya are told. It's like this. You say, it is verse 2. First Khanda of Sutta Samhita, Shiva Mahatmya Khanda, chapter 10, verse 2. 1, 10, 2, Sutta Samhita. It describes Sarga. Sarga means Srishti, and it calls it as Tamomayaha Sarga. The Srishti, this creation is Tamomaya, means Maya here is Vikara. It is a product of, it is the effect of. Tamas here is Ajnana. So, Tamo Vikara Bhuta Tamomayi Avidyamayi Srishti. Tama Avidya. Avidyamayi Srishti. Ajnanamayi Srishti. Jagat is effect, product of ignorance of oneself. So that it defined that this avidya is fivefold. It has got 5 parvas. Parvas means divisions or parts. First is tamaha. What is tamaha? 5 parts of avidya. Tamaha here is tattvasya aparijnanam. Not knowing the tattva, ultimate reality, one's swarupa as it is. Not knowing one's true nature as it is, that aparijnana, ajnana is tama. Second stage is moha. So moha, that is Brahma, delusion in terms of what? Taking deha, indriya, prana, mana, buddhi, ahankara, ajnana as I. All these are anatma, not I. And taking them to be I. So that is what is the second stage, moha. Third stage, mahamoha. Earlier was a delusion. This is greater delusion. Mahabho. Moha. What is greater delusion? Vishayavilasha rupa raga. Raga, asakti, priti, hankering to acquire, gain, enjoy Vishayas. The hankering for sense pleasure is what? Mahamoha, still greater delusion. Then, fourth stage, Tamisraha. Tamisra. What is Tamisra? Dvesha, Krodha. Hating something, getting angry. What happens? Vishyavilasha. The desire for gets obstructed. Hatred, anger, they come. So that is Tamisra. A step still ahead. Fifth stage is what? Andhatamisra. Andhatamisra means here andha in terms of persistent, strong attachment for Vishyavilasha in spite of knowing it to be bad or detriment. So that is, he knows Vishyavilasa is not good. It is something which is bad. And yet, that strong attachment to it, in spite of knowing this, and also Marana, death is inevitable in this, in spite of knowing this, still strong attachment, that is Andhata Misra. So by each of these, avidya, ignorance, becomes stronger and stronger, whereby dehatadhatmya, identifying the body, and jagat satyatva, the wrong notion that the jagat is real, become more and more deeply rooted, and thereby life becomes full of chinta, full of chinta, anxiety, care, concern, full of chinta, anxiety, care, and concern. Okay. Now we have seen what is ajnana. So what is ajnana we have seen, and for which vichara has to be taken to. And knowledge is the remedy. And this itself is the Veda Tatparya. Tatparya, purport, the final substance, the main gist of entire Veda, vast Vedas. But this is what is told that the Vedas, Bhagavata, crystallizes it. It sums up. This is the Tatparya of Veda. It is in the Bhagavata again, Uddhava Gita only, Skanda 11, chapter 21, verse 43, which has got 3 lines. Mam vidatte mam vikalpyapohyate tvaham etavan sarva vedartha shabda astayamabidam shabda astayamam vidam maya matra manudyante pratishidya prasidati. This is what Veda does to make you and me. What is our Swarupa? What is the Bhagat Swarupa? What is Jagat Swarupa? So what do the Vedas do? Says, Mam. Krishna says, does not Mr. Krishna? That's Paramatma Bhagavan. Mam, me, with that me. Paramatmanam Bhagavantam. Vidatte. Vidatte means ordains, prescribes me where in Karma Kanda as Vidhi. Whatever scriptural injunctions called Vidhi are there in Karma Kanda of the Vedas is me only, nothing other than me. Me Paramatma only. So it ordains me as the Vidhis in the Karma Kanda. Nothing other than me. Then Abhidatte in the Upasana Kanda. Well, different meditations are involved. See? Mam Abhidatte. It presents me, Parameshwara, Paramatma, in the form of different devatas. In the form of different devatas. Abhidatte. Then again, Mam, Paramatmanam, Bhagavantam, Vikalpya, Apohyate. Vikalpya means having projected, having projected as what? as Panchamahabhutas. Tasmadva etasmad atmana akasha sambodha. Akashad vayu, etc. So therefore, vikalpya, having projected means adhyasya, having superimposed on me the Panchamahabhutas. So it says, then what is the vikalpya? Apoya. Apoyate. Apoyate means it does its apavada, refutes, projects, and shows it is truly not there at all. That is apavada, what is adjasta, is done. Refuted, negated. To ahameva. And yet, whether you superimpose on me the vidhis of karma kanda, devatas of upasana kanda, and negate them, I remain what I am all along, without, totally unconnected to all this. You may see a snake in the rope, and you may describe long, long way. Rope is rope. It has nothing to do with your snake, it is in your mind. So also, this prapancha. So, superimpose in terms of vidhi, devatas, and then discarded all in your means ajnani's mind. Me, Atma, I am as I am. Unscathed, unchanged, unconnected, unconcerned. So that aham eva, I remember. Arjuna, Uddhava, this is the summons of the Vedas. Etavan sarva vedartha. This is all that is there told in the Vedas. Nothing more than that. Therefore, what does it do? Shabda. Shabda stands for Vedas. What does it do? Say, Mam asthaya. Having taken recourse to me, Paramatma, Brahma, Bhagavan. Having resorted to me, Paramatma, Bhagavan. Or assuming me. Say, what does it Veda do? Asthaya. Mam asthaya. Bhidam. Bhida. Bheda. Dvaita. Bhidam. Maya matram anudya. This Dvaita Jagat is only Maya matra. It is simply Maya, the product of Maya. The nature of Maya was already told. Which denies you the knowledge of what is there always and makes you experience which is not there at all. Bhagavan only has described it. So therefore, Maya Matra means this Dvaita Drishya Jagat to be nothing but Maya Karya. Karya of Maya, that creative form. So, Anudya, having repeatedly told, Ante, finally, what does it do? Pratishidya. It projected Jagadvaita. Finally, it what? Dismiss it. Not there. It is not there at all. Because the experience was told, described. Truly not there. Pratishidya. Pratishidya means having discarded it. Having discarded it, negated it, refuted it. Prasidati. Prasidati, Shruti is satisfied, succeeds, ends its task successfully, and me, Paramatma, remain in my Paramartha Swarupa. I remain in my Paramartha Swarupa. So this is what the sum and substance of Vedas. And discovery of it. See, I'm giving you these verses because they make clear what is taught in the Chatusshloki Bhagavatam. Like a commentary on what is there told here. The people go on misinterpreting it. They see their own things which is not there at all. Therefore, I am giving the proof from Bhagavata itself. What is the sum and substance of entire Bhagavata, which is summarized in these 4 verses. So this is from first skanda, 3rd chapter, 33rd verse. This is what is Brahma Dhyana. Only this much. What is it? It says 1:3:33. Yatre me sadasadrupe pratishidde swasamvida avidyayatmani krite iti tad Brahma darshanam. This is Brahma darshana. Bhagavata. Why? Because the people bhakti. Yes, bhakti because it is easy to start with. Bhakti is both sadhana means and also sadhya, the end. Sadhana bhakti, navida bhakti. Sadhya bhakti, wherein mind is absorbed in Bhagavat Swarupa. Of course, it may be a little savikalpa. Me, Bhakta, and Bhagavan. But the mind is totally withdrawn from the Vishaya Rupa Jagat. The Jnani mind is absorbed in Swarupa, the true nature, that is Chaitanya Swarupa, Brahma Swarupa, where Vikalpa is not there. Division is not there. That doesn't mean for practical purpose, bhakti is less. No. You get that much, don't worry about that. After Bhagavan ka kaam. Don't indulge in Dvaita, Advaita, etc. You make your mind withdraw from the Jagat, absorbed in the Bhagavad Swarup. Let the final trace of Bheda, Dvaita, let it be there. It is the concern of Bhagavan, not yours. So that being the case, see, this much. So what is that now? This is a Brahma Darshana or Sadhya Bhakti. Yatra. Yatra means when, yada, in the sense of when, yada, when. Ime, these, sadasad rupi, these gross and subtle upadhis, sthula, sukshma upadhaya, gross and subtle upadhis are what? From where have they come? Avidyaya atmani kriti. Kriti made means adhyaste, as seen earlier. Superimposed on account of avidya, ignorance, on Chaitanya Rupa, Advaita, Atma. So avidya atmani krite iti heto. Because they are superimposed atma due to ignorance. Heto. What is that? Iti heto. What should then? Swasamvida pratishidde. They are pratishidda, means ended by what? Swasamvida, by Swarupa Jnana, Samyak Jnana, gained through Shravana, Manana, Bhakti. Say, if the sadhaka has that antakarana, which melts as it were for Bhagavan, by Navida Bhakti, straight away he will be able to make his mind absorbed in the Bhagavad Swarup. If the sadhaka is little analytical, inquiry oriented, no doubt, Navida Bhakti will be taken to side by side, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. So with the path of Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, or mainly Bhakti alone, in either case, the mind is withdrawn from the Jagat, made to get absorbed in the either Savikalpa Bhagavad Swarupa or Nirvikalpa Brahma Swarupa. For practical purpose, the goal is one and the same, Brahma Darshanam. So therefore, avidya swasamvida pratishadde tad Brahma Darshanam. That is Brahma Darshan. So this is what Brahma Darshan. Bhagavan described his Swarupa. What is Maya told? How to inquire told, and to gain the knowledge. With this, Bhagavan Vishnu concludes the teaching and points out to Brahmaji, O Brahman, this is the answer to your query. What was your inquiry to begin with? O Bhagavan, I will certainly abide by your command. What is that command? Srishti. But why doing so in kalpas and kalpas, kalpas and kalpas? Let me not have that kartrutva bhavana. Oh, see, I can create all the, how great I am. Let me not get bound by that. I was afraid of that. Don't be frightened. Always keep in sight. This is the truth. The mind absorbed in this truth. Your Srishti Karya can never bind you. Forget that fear. Read 36.
I don't have Swamiji.
35. No, 35 is over. 36.
No, I don't have 36 verse.
Okay. Take it. Etan matam sama. Actually, this verse doesn't come in the Chatusshloki. Chatusshloki only 4 verses. But I had taken the earlier verses and I'm taking this concluding verse also, which is not counted in the 4. That's why it was not given. Etan matam samatishka paramena samadhina bhavan kalpa vikalpeshu na vimuyati karhichit. Etan matam. This doctrine which I taught you now, this knowledge which I imparted given to you now. Paramena samadhina. By parama samadhi means by getting your mind intensely absorbed in me, Paramatma Swarupa, Bhagavat Swarupa, Brahma Swarupa. Samatishta. Samatishta means Sammyag Anutishta. Be remain absorbed in it. Means let your mind get totally absorbed in, totally preoccupied in this Paramartha Swarupa, Bhagavat Swarupa, Brahma Swarupa, Atma Swarupa. And that's how Paramena Samadhina, by intensely getting your mind absorbed in it. And if when you do that, you say, Bhavan, O Brahma, say Brahma Bhavan, Kalpa Vikalpeshu. Kalpa Vikalpeshu. In every kalpa, whatever vikalpas mean, different types of Srishtis, creations are there. While creating varieties of creation in each kalpa evan, the duration of the one, such that is Srishti during the day of Brahma Hiranyagarbha. So, Vikalpeshu. And if you do that, na karichit vimuhyati. Na karichit, never, never, never. Vimuhyati. So that means you will get vimoha. Means you will get subject to the wrong notion that I am the doer of all these. Your mind is always absorbed in your Swarupa. As a result, you will not have that wrong notion that I do all this. This is what you are afraid of. Because if that I do comes, you are bound. That's what you are afraid of. No, I have told you the truth. Let your mind always be dwelling on it. That you are Srishti Karya, because your prarabdha not just come like that. Prarabdha. And because of this status, you got Atma Jnana also, Brahma Jnana also. Always dwell on the Brahma Jnana. Not going to bind you. I told you once. Brahmaji told Shiva, Bhagavan, too much of this creation. Why don't you take care of it? It is none of my business. It is your job. He said, Srishti means sorrow comes there. To whom? Jivas. I never give sorrow to anyone. I remove them. Hara. Hari also. Harati papaniti hara, harati papaniti. Suffix differ. Meaning is Hari Shiva or Vishnu. Remove the sorrow. I don't do that. So, don't be afraid. With this, actually, Chatusshloki Bhagavata is over. Teaching is over. And yet, in a few, 2-3 classes, I will give you few highlights of Bhakti and also Bhagavan from Bhagavata itself, which will be supplementary to what we have learned so far. It will be helpful to us to develop our Bhakti and know what the Bhagavad Swarupa is. And also, it will help us to get rid of the wrong notion Bhakti and Jnana are at loggerheads. No. Bhakti and Jnana are not contradictory. On the contrary, they are supplementary. Where the need is, Bhakti serves as a means. It is helpful to, and in general, Jnanis are Bhaktas in general. Exception may be there. Generally, it is found that we'll see that. Now, why see Shuka? Do you know status of Shuka as a Brahmajnani? Read Mahopanishad. Don't consult the Upanishad. This Bhagavatam only Puranas. Go to Upanishads. See the status of Shuka, not ordinary person. And yet, he is so much thrilled by this Leela of Krishna. So it is not, in fact, you know what happened? There was in Andhra Pradesh, last century, last century thing, there was a famous Brahmana, highly learned and a poet, Vellangonda Ramaraya Kavi. Vellangonda is the name of the place. Ramaraya Kavi is a poet by the name now. He was a great upasaka of Hayagreva. Hayagreva is one of the Vishnu avatars. The head is of horse. We have seen in some context. And body of man. Great Vishnu Bhakta, upasaka. But in the form of Hayagreva. Must be very high level. He was follower of Vishishta Advaita. Ramanuja Sampradaya, Vishishta Advaita. He felt that this Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta, is a thorn in the neck of bhakti. It should be dismissed. He thought that Advaita Vedanta is something hostile to bhakti and therefore it should be dismissed. So dismiss what is required. You should know what Vedanta speaks. Not like our present-day journalists. Without investigating, without inquiring, they'll put what they have to say in the mouth of someone and publish. And there are idiots to listen also. He has to know what is it. He chose, as a great scholar he was. He chose the text Panchadashi by Vidyaranya Muni. 15th chapter. See, he was a Hayagri Upasaka. He had done Upasana thoroughly. Therefore, he has sufficient Vairagya. He has Shuddhanta Karana. And when he went on studying Panchadashi, he said, my God, this is the truth. This is the truth. This is the truth. How it can be wrong? This is the truth. You know what he did? Not dismissing Vedanta, Advaita. He wrote Tika on Shankara Bhashya of Bhagavad Gita. It's available. I have got that. Very elaborate. And his main topic was to dismiss Ramanuja Bhashya. How it is wrong. He embarked on a project to prove how Advaita Vedanta is wrong. But he found that is the truth. How Vishishta Advaita Bhashya is wrong. They wrote in it. And that is apart. What is that? Dismissing of Vishishta Advaita, but otherwise also at places, meaning of certain phrases, words, etc. given by us so clear, it makes Shankara Bhashya still more clear as very useful book as. And after he had written many books. about 30, 35 books there. But he was short-lived. I think he left the body around the age of 32 or so. 32 or so. So they were, all that is necessary is open mind. Bhakti, afterward, the Bhagavan takes care of it. And still those who are in the dilemma or a doubt whether Dvaita is true or Vishishtadvaita is true or Advaita is true, if you have no capacity to ascertain yourself by an unbiased inquiry, don't bother about it. You have got Bhagavad Bhakti. Not ordinary means surrender to Bhagavan. You know for yourself, Bhagavan is Sarvajna. And you have got certain Shraddha. He knows everything. If he knows everything, does he not know his Swarupa, Advaya or Sadvaya? He will guide you. You don't philosophize it. Otherwise, follow what is that? Advaya. Shastra says. You can't surrender to Ishvara, Bhagavan. He will guide you. What's the problem? You are making best use of perfect thing. Instead of unnecessarily arguing and all this thing, wasting your time. This is as it is, that's all adulteration, etc. Don't enter into all this. Leave it to Bhagavan. So that is there. So, with 2-3 class, I want to finish it now as early as possible. Just few highlights of about Bhakti and Bhagavan, and we'll end it. Oh.
स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्ताम् न्यायेन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः वो ब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यम् लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः।